Hey everybody, welcome to the 32 Insights podcast. I'm Mo. I'm here with your boy Tommy. Tommy, it is officially the off season in the NFL, man. Here's the time, look, the news doesn't stop, my friend. The news doesn't stop, We're in the combine right now. We're headed to the draft. Free agency's coming up. What are you looking at, man? What are you looking at? What's your go-to news these days and what do you keep an eye on?
Well, today's the start of testing at the combine, so I'll definitely be tuned in to that all weekend. Obviously, with my scouting background, I love to see it in every way. I know the Seahawks don't have a ton of picks this year of the draft, but I like to kind of see what the future of the league looks like. So I'm excited to see that. Excited to see if there's any records broken. Just see some of these guys that we've seen in college come out there and test for the NFL and kind of put on a athletic show all weekend long. So I know the defensive tackles are going right now. I know the top two guys. We got Peter Woods out of Clemson, Caleb Banks out of Florida, McDonald out of Ohio State. There's some good defensive tackles in this draft. I think Peter Woods and Caleb Banks are the best two. Keep an eye out for it. Luckily for Seattle, I don't really think we need to dive into those top two defensive tackles. One, because they won't be there when we pick, and two, we've got a pretty good defensive tackle room ourselves and some other big needs to address. So,
Yeah.
Nevertheless, excited.
Yeah, just talking about defensive tackles real quick. I want to ask you a question. Look, there's a lot. I see a lot of Seahawks fans on Twitter say like, you know what, Byron Murphy's not like that kind of elite player. People kind of like usually look. People underestimate him because he's doing most of the dirty work, right? He's taking on those double teams. He's playing nose. He's playing a little bit out of position, but he's stuffing the run out there, and I think the focal point of the dark side was more Leonard Williams, right? He was that kind of like star of that defense. But I do feel like, hey, once Leonard Williams retires, like Byron Murphy is the next guy. So, like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think if someone says that Byron Murphy's not that guy, they're probably not watching close enough. To be completely honest with you, I mean, and like I'm all about subjectivity and discourse around players, but if you're gonna go out there and try to make a statement that Byron Murphy isn't what we wanted at pick 16, then the truth of the matter is that they're objectively wrong. Byron Murphy has been fantastic. He was an absolute catalyst to this defense. He eats up double teams. I mean, he makes light work of double teams. He's got a beautiful corkscrew move. His balance is unbelievable. Creates a strong base. He's able to hold it, shed blockers, make tackles at the line of scrimmage. I mean, he does a fantastic job, and he's an absolute important piece. Yeah, Leonard Williams maybe gives you a little bit more as a pass rusher. But what Byron does is very important to this defense and lets our linebackers, roam free and do what they need to do on top of our edge rusher setting the edge, bringing the run back inside. Byron sitting right there, eating it up. It's all goes hand in hand, and Byron Murphy's a big, big part of that. So for those who are saying that, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you. So just moving on to some of the free agency stuff. So look, the dark side, elite defense. This is the type of defense that you can build a dynasty on, man. But hey, there's rumors that Boye Mafe might not come back. There's rumors that Reek is probably gone. And we said it too on the show as well. There's like also rumors out there that Demarcus Lawrence is flirting with retirement, right? And so all of a sudden, man, like edge becomes a big need. So I mean, is this a draft to fill that need? And what do you think about that? Like the Seahawks kind of like maintaining that that top 5 defense going into next year.
Yeah, winning comes with a cost. And we're kind of seeing that right now. A lot of our free agents that were going to be unrestricted free agents before we won the Super Bowl, their price tags just went up a little bit just because of the success that's going to come with it. As weird as it is. So I think Seattle's in a good spot. I think this draft class kind of lines up pretty well for them in terms of what they might need immediately. I think Seattle's an opportunity here to go edge pretty early. It's a really deep corner class. There's a lot of promising corners in this draft class that I think that have a chance to fall into the second round. Just kind of like what we saw last year as well. I think there were some really good corners that also fell into the second round last year.
Yeah. Are there blue chip corners?
So
Or are they like
I think
elite
Seattle
corners?
could look at a guy maybe like Zion. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna ask you, like, are they blue chip corners? Can these corners be like all pro one day, pro bowlers?
Totally. Totally. I mean, obviously, it's kind of a crapshoot at times because there's so many, and I'd be lying if I said all of these corners are going to pan out. But I definitely think there's an opportunity for Seattle. I mean, one guy that I love is Chris Johnson, the corner of San Diego State. That's probably, you know what? I mean, I can't say he's my favorite corner in this draft class because there's some really talented ones, but he's my favorite corner in potential Seattle territory. I big fan of that guy. I think he's a stud, and he completely transformed San Diego State's defense this year. Zion Young, the edge out of Missouri, I think that's a guy Seattle might be able to look for at pick 32. Just kind of retool, replace Mafe, slide him in. I think he offers a lot. He's an intriguing guy. At the same time, Seattle could trade back and maybe grab two guys in the second round on day two, accumulate some more picks for depth later on in the draft. I like Brandon Cisse, the corner out of South Carolina. Funny story. He was actually at the NFC Championship game cheering on his buddy Nicky Manwari.
Oh wow.
I think that's a guy Seattle could also take at pick 32. He's a specimen. He'll put on a show this weekend, similar to Nick. So there's a lot of opportunity for Seattle. Seattle's gonna have a chance to take a good guy to position of need. I really do. I think they're gonna. It lines up pretty well for them in terms of what they're going to need. I don't know if you've heard, but Seattle this week so far at the combine has basically interviewed every corner possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if that doesn't tell you what's probably coming when free agency kicks off, I don't know what will. Seattle's met with Abney. They've met with Cisse. They've met with everyone. Let me just cut that time short. They've met with every corner outside of maybe Mansour Delane, the guy who's going to go top 15 out of LSU. So they met with Avion Terrell. I mean, if Avion Terrell fell to 32, I don't think Schneider, McDonald would have any hesitation sprinting in that pick. The corner out of Clemson, that dude, he can play. He's Terrell's little brother on the Falcons. That's his little brother. AJ Terrell's little brother. Avion, I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name, but Avion Terrell is a dude. He's a dude. I don't think he'll fall to Seattle, but if he does, whew, what a day. Good first night of the draft. I'll tell you that much. Because he could come in and potentially be our best corner that we've had in a while. Like on the outside. Like I know Spoon's great. Like Spoon's his own tier, but in terms of outside guys, I mean Terrell, I think that dude has I think he's has a chance to be better than Woolen and Job. Like he's good. He's real good. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. I'm also interested in the corner testing. That's going to be fun. So Seattle fans, stay tuned. Really, you want to tune in for corner testing, and if this comes out after, go look at the corner testing numbers because Seattle has met with a lot of corners. I feel like corners coming in this draft. Also check out edge rushers. That's coming too as well.
Yeah. And like looking at Mike McDonald's favorite guys, man. Like I think he's looking for those guys, like those press corners, those like sticky guys, really good with their technique, really good with their hands, and like look right now, like the good thing about this team right now is like Schneider and Mike McDonald are they're connected now, man. They like he knows what he wants. Mike McDonald knows what to ask for, and it's like it's not like the first year when you when you bring in those linebackers and it doesn't work.
No, and I mean, I saw a tweet today that was talking about how Mike McDonald is not a good cornerback drafter. And I was like, what? How can he even make that claim right now? I mean, he's been a head coach for 2 seasons. 2, he hasn't picked a corner before round 5. I was just like, that makes no sense. Like that to me is just a forced take. Like we don't know anything about that. Like a corner we took in round 6, 5, 6 didn't work out. Welcome to 90% of the corners taken in rounds 5 and 6. Like it's just I don't know. I don't know what that was about, but I'm not too worried about Mike McDonald as a quarterback drafter or a talent evaluator for that matter. He'll get the right guy. I trust John. John Schneider's been around. He's been drafted for a while. I trust him
Yeah.
too. Um, so I know Seattle will make the right move, and if trade back's the right thing to do, they'll do it. But the best part about winning the Super Bowl is I have confidence in this coaching staff, this front office. They're going to make the right moves, and um, it's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy draft night. Everyone should. Like we get to pick 32. Like that's the best feeling in the world, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Um, unless you trade for it, of course. But since it's our pick, it's great.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get to our segment, Tommy. Who's staying? And basically, and like we'll talk about them one by one, and it's gonna be like our final predictions. Who's staying? Kenneth Walker the third, MVP of the Super Bowl, and I there's word out there that he just hired a new agent, so he knows what's up, right? And basically, and all points, all everyththing points that he's gone. John Schneider was on the radio in Seattle as well. They asked him a question. They were like, "Hey, what did you think about the run game? In the end of the season?" And his response was like, "Oh, Justin Allen did a great job and with the running crew or something like that." And so I mean, also like they K9 has 3 years of injury history and just 1 year of being
Yep.
fully healthy. I think they're gonna like count. They're gonna get. I think they're gonna put more weight on the first 3 years than the last year where he split with, um, your boy. She's Zach Charbonnet. So I definitely think he's gone.
I think he's coming back. I think
Okay.
Seattle gets something done, and the Javonte Williams contract is a big reason why. Javonte Williams just signed a 3-year extension with the Cowboys at $8 million a year. Javonte
Yeah.
Williams was quite productive this season. The Cowboys did not have problems on offense. Will Kenneth Walker would and should Kenneth Walker make more money than Javonte Williams? Yes. But I think that's a good number for Seattle. That's really promising that Javonte only pulled 8 mil. If Javonte got 10 mil, 11 mil, I'd be a little worried. But to
Yeah.
me, him getting eight, eight average per year, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm feeling pretty good. And maybe Seattle wants to front load it a little bit, and that's fine too. They've got a little bit
Yeah.
of cap space to play with in the next couple of years, just to front load it and then have it lessen off later on to give us
Yeah.
some relief. But I feel good about it now. That Devontae, I wanted to see one running back contract get done, and that was promising. So I think obviously Ken's going to make more, but at 8 mil, I'll try to top that. I'm in. I think they get it done now.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, who's staying? And our next player is Boye Mafe. Man, look, I like Boye. I think he's gonna get a lot of money out there, but I think that's why I think they're not gonna sign back Kenneth Walker. I think Boye is gonna be here, right? He's gonna get like a good contract with good incentives, and I think basically he's the future edge in Seattle, man. You got, as I said, Derek Hall is great. You got him too, but you got some other folks retiring as well. So I think his one thing I like about Boye Mafe is, man, his pass rush win rate is just up there, but his sack production is just like down here, right? So like once he figures that out, I think he's going to be an elite player. I think it would be a mistake for the Seahawks to move on from him. I know he's going to get a better deal, but I think at least you try. You give him a good deal. You try to re-sign him, and I think they'll re-sign him.
Boye, I like Boye. Great pick for us. I think he is gone. I just think he'll get too much for what we are going to want to pay for a rotational defensive end. Um, Boye was obviously a great player for us. Came in, played through his rookie contract, did a great job. Showed promise from even day one. But I think what he's going to field in the open market at 27, Super Bowl champ, obviously has shown flashes, very toolsy guy. He's probably going to get priced out of Seattle, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I think it goes hand in hand with what Seattle's going to see this weekend out of some of these edges in the draft that could be around when we pick. And I think they'll be comfortable with what they see just based off what I think.
Yeah, no, that's true. I agree with you as well. That's a huge possibility, and it's kind of like that Milton Williams situation, right, with the Eagles, right? And just got overpriced. What
Yeah,
do you
I got
call it?
priced
Yeah,
out.
yeah. The Patriots just like really paid him the bag.
I don't think Boye's had his best season as a pro yet, but I just don't think it'll be with Seattle. To be completely honest, like I don't think he has had his best season. But I don't know. I think if Seattle were to allocate a lot of money to Boye right now, I would be um, a little disappointed or confused, I guess. But I would trust the process. I'm trusting the process regardless, but I just don't think that's the right move right now for them.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of Frank Clark. He just he was here for a while and then goes to
Yeah,
the Chief and just becomes a monster.
totally, totally. I love Frank in Seattle. Whew, what a guy! What a
Yeah,
guy!
yeah. All right. So who's staying? And the next person that we got is your boy Josh Jobe.
Want me to start us? You got us this time.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah, I got it. So Josh Jobe, man, I think he's good enough to stay. I think basically, he's gonna find like they're gonna find a deal around their price range, right? Josh Jobe, and so he's gonna get a good deal that he's gonna be happy with. And I know, and I think he's gonna be the type of player where other teams totally don't believe in him. But the Seahawks are like, you know what, we know this guy, he fits in our scheme, and he's going to get that just right price for them.
Yeah, I agree. We finally agree, Mo. I think Job. I think Job's coming back. I think Seattle's going to be able to get him on a reasonable deal. I think he fits. Obviously, we know what we're getting from Josh all the time, and I'd like Seattle to bring him back on a much more reasonable deal than what you might see from Tariq Woolen. And I thought Joe had a really good season for us. Nothing. Not an All-Pro season, but you can't have 22 All-Pros in your starting lineup. So I thought Joe did a great job. Forced quite a few turnovers. Made some good plays in the run game. So I like it. I think he'll be back.
Awesome. Sounds good. Okay, so the next player we got on who's staying is your boy Reek Woolen. And we've seen this coming for a long time. We talked about it, Tommy, and I'm definitely 100% sure that we're gonna agree on this. Reek is not coming back. Reek is gonna get that bag. He's gonna break the market. He's gonna be one of those headline type of signings. So he's not going to come back, and I'm just like really interested to see where he lands. I think he's going to have like a great career. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
so but I don't think it's here. It's with us.
yeah. I mean, I don't think he's coming back, and it is not about Reek as the football player. It's just about what Reek's going to make in the open market from a cornerback hungry team with money to spend. I mean, he's going to get paid. I really feel it. I mean, I think, and not no offense, I think one of these like really bad teams is going to just back up the Brinks truck for the guy, and I can't blame him at that point because Seattle needs to be smart. I don't think Reek is the perfect football player. Reek is the perfect athlete. I mean, truly a 99 percentile athlete, but I don't think he's a perfect football player, and for what he's probably going to field, it just doesn't make sense for Seattle to get that done and overpay for him, especially with JSN extensions, Spoon extensions, yes, extended cross. We're going to start thinking in a couple of years we're going to play. We definitely want to pay Gray Zabel. And there's a couple guys coming up like you want to keep Barner around, Ernest Jones. We got him locked up, but we've there's going to be some tough decisions coming up, and I think Reek Woolen's going to be the first one that we see of like true impactful players on this team that's going to have to leave, and
Yeah,
he's just going to get priced out of here. But nothing but respect for Reek Woolen,
yeah,
and obviously we wish him the best. So
yeah, yeah. Totally understand, man. Yeah, we wish Reek the best, man. I think he's gonna kill it. And but yeah, let's go to the next one. Who's staying? Your boy Kobe Bryant. I think this is another person, another type of player that might not stick around because of the production we've seen from Ty Okada, and because of like and he there's like some hints out there like they were like not close with the number. I saw reporting out there that Kobe Bryant and the Seahawks were not close. So I think this is a situation where they look at Ty Okada and they look at some of the developmental pieces and they're like, you know what, we're good.
yeah, this is a tough one. This one I've been back and forth on this 100 times. I think 2 weeks ago I was like, yeah, he's gone. Part of me's like, man, nobody played more snaps for
Yeah.
Seattle in the secondary than Kobe Bryant. Like he played the most snaps for this defense, and like to lose that for a rookie, scary. And or Ty Okada for that matter, but I don't know. I'm all over the place. I'm gonna go on limb and say he's probably gone. Like I'm just gonna be real. Like
Yeah.
I think he is going to end up getting priced out of Seattle. But man, that's tough. I think that one might hurt the most to me because
Yeah.
I've come to kind of have some clarity on like what Kobe Bryant was to this defense. Um, and so I think he's gone though. I think he's priced out. There's going to be again secondary needy teams that are probably going to overpay, and it is what it is. You can't really do much at that point, especially when it gets priced out, and especially like what you said, where they might be far apart. I'm sure Seattle gave their offer, and Kobe's agent's like, no way, you're going to get way more in the open market. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's it. You know. So I think he's gone. I think he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So this player right now, so we're gonna get to like some other players. I think we're done with the free agents, right?
Rashid,
I think we mentioned. Yeah, Rashid
I think we got
Shaheed. Yep.
Rashid.
Sorry. Rashid Shaheed on who's staying. Um, you know what? I've been back and forth with this as well. I think he's staying, man. I think look, I think that, like Mike McDonald's all about special teams. Mike McDonald's all about like all three phases. And I think he fits in this team really great. Look, Kubiak is in Vegas with a lot of cap space as well, right? So like he might get outbid, But look, I think with this guy's a guy like who's finally been on a winning team, and maybe he resigns with the with a discount a little bit, comparing like looking at like Washington State doesn't have that income tax, but things might change, but who knows. Um, but for now, Washington State does not have that income tax. But you look. What do you think about Rashid Shaheed? I think he might stay.
I think he's going to stay. We talked a lot about players who are leaving, right? We in my on my end we've resigned Ken Walker, we've resigned Joe. We got a lot of cap space this offseason.
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed's coming back, and for multiple reasons. One, I mean, think about it this way: you let Rashid walk, you only have 4 draft picks. You have to pick a receiver at that point or sign one.
Yeah.
Why would you just sign one from the outside when you have a guy in here that also provides extremely valuable special teams production?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not just signing the wide receiver who's the one of the best deep threats in the NFL. You're signing a guy who's one of the best return threats in the NFL as well.
Yeah.
I think he brings an element to your team that, especially on the special teams, if Seattle wants to continue to win the special teams battle, which I think
Yeah.
gave them a significant edge this year, you want to bring a guy like Rashid Shaheed back, and I think you've got the flexibility to do it. You already traded a 4th-round pick. John Schneider has a history of making sure he re-signs the guys that he trades for in the middle of the season, and I think he continues that trend and gets it done with Rashid Shaheed. I don't even think Rashid's gonna. I think he'll get re-signed before the market even opens. Like he might even be our first
Yeah.
extension. I feel extremely confident that one's getting done. That might be the most confident I am about any sort of extension this offseason is Rashid. I think we get that done.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And you got to look at this guy, man. I think he single handedly won us like how many games? Maybe like 2 games, right?
I mean, he sparked us in Atlanta. He sparked us against the Rams. He won the game against the 49ers. I mean, we didn't have to score
Right.
again.
Right.
Like we
It's in
like,
playoff games, like that's
yeah, I mean,
crazy. Like,
we were at the NFC Championship game. They didn't even kick to the guy, you know?
yeah,
So um
that's
no,
like
he's
that's a
total
weapon.
threat.
That's a weapon.
Even they didn't kick it on kickoffs. They kicked out the back of the end zone kickoffs, and then on punts they would just sky kick it.
Yeah, they were
Like
just
they nobody wanted to kick to him,
yeah.
so
That's just,
you kind of lose that edge. You don't want to kick to the guy. So
yeah,
I think he's just too valuable. And of course, like I said, just to echo or reiterate what I had said, when John Schneider trades for a guy in the middle of the season, he typically gets that extension done.
yeah, yeah,
So I expect Rashid to be re-signed here probably within the next few weeks. I think we're going to get it done.
yeah. All right, let's talk about some other players then. So there is some rumors out there that Demarcus Lawrence will retire. So, um, I think he's got a lot in the tank, but it's understandable. This guy's like an 11-year vet. Been through a lot. Has a family has a baby on the way. And maybe he hangs it up, man. So I think it's possible. If I bet on it, I would say no. I think he gives it one more year, right? I think he comes back, runs it back. But what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I don't. It's easier to say, like, if you're a veteran like that, I think it's a lot easier to say, like, I'm done than actually being done.
Yeah,
Um, a lot of these, I mean, to be in the NFL this long, you really have to love the game. You do. And for him to step away like immediately after winning the Super Bowl, I have a hard time believing DeMarcus Lawrence is going to do that. It looked like he was finally having some fun this year playing, and I just have a really hard time believing he's going to walk away from it right now. Maybe after next year, once things starting to get a little dicey, maybe he's on his last contract, so on and so forth. I would be really surprised if he did. And obviously, if he did, that would make things a little bit more dicey for Seattle this offseason in terms of how they're going to fix their edge situation. Um, but I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. Not yet. I think it's too
yeah,
soon. But you never know. I think obviously when you play in the Super Bowl, it's a long season, and DeMarcus Lawrence has never had a season that long before.
yeah,
So, maybe just take a little bit of time, right? Usually DeMarcus is chilling by January. So you just take much less February. So he probably just needs to take a little bit of time and regroup. But I understand his thinking. I do. But I would just be really surprised if he did.
yeah, yeah. Yep, I agree with you as well. All right, okay. So now we get to some players to extension early extensions, and the Seahawks don't do like early extensions, right? We saw Charles Cross, right? And they never like so that people like saying like Will Spoon and JSN get signed this offseason. Do you see like the Seahawks kind of breaking their rule and kind of like signing these guys early?
I think it's going to happen in like the summer. I think it happens in the summer when the draft is done, free agency is done, everything's kind of settled. That's when I think that happens. I don't think it happens like immediately. Like everyone's like, oh, they want to get this done this offseason. Well, the offseason includes July and June and August and stuff. So I think it's going to happen then, and more
Yeah,
than you know. I just no, I don't see it happening real soon. But this summer they'll get it done. They'll definitely get it done.
yeah,
No doubt about it. Because the market's going to reset every single year. Like that, you want, especially like with those types of positions, you want to get it done ASAP. Like, yeah,
yeah,
for JSN, you want to beat Puka. Like, we need to get that done before Puka gets extended because they're going to top each other. And I'd rather
yeah,
us get it done first, so the Rams have to pay more for Puka than whoever comes second is getting topped. So
yeah.
we
That's
we
true.
need. I want to get it done before Puka because Puka is going to break the market, and then we're going to have to break the market even more.
Yeah,
So let's get it
yeah.
done.
Look, the Rams cap space might all go to Puka.
No kidding. They got a ton coming off the books here in a couple years, but right now there it's getting tight.
Yeah, yeah. But like, yeah, you're right. In a couple years, they'll be really good. But okay, so I agree with you on that. I think they should get it done immediately. JSN is that dude, man. We know. I think he's gonna keep on getting more expensive, right? So you're
I mean,
right.
there's no question. How about this?
Yeah,
There's no question that Spoon and JSN are going to be Seahawks for at least the next 5 years. Like there's absolutely no question about that. The next 5 seasons, JSN and Devin Witherspoon are going to be members of the Seattle Seahawks. Just tell it how it is.
yeah,
But I can't give you a timeline on like when it's going to get done. And we just got to trust the process on that and just know it's going to get done. It's not if, it's when. That's all.
yeah, yeah. All right, so let's get to some trade scenarios over there. Do you see a player the Seahawks will trade this offseason? I've heard rumors out there, some fans, just like some of these accounts kind of tweeting, like no there's no merit to it. They're not like, official accounts, but like, they're putting, some sauce out there, for people. So and what they're saying is look, the Seahawks got their guy. They have their quarterback of the future. They have Sam Darnold. Um, so you don't need Jalen Milrow. Like trade Jalen Milrow, and have Drew Lock. So get a third round pick for Jalen Milrow. What are your thoughts on that? I don't think like John Snyder like just drafts a quarterback and then trades them. I think he drafted that guy for a reason. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
No, I think it's a tight knit quarterback group. It'd have to be the right deal. I mean, the only circumstance that I could see Jalen Milrow getting shipped off is maybe a little switcheroo between. Just not happening. I don't know. I'm just trying to make up something on the fly. It's not happening. They're not trading Joe Milrow. There's no point.
Okay.
They
Well, what
drafted
if?
the guy to develop him. Like
Yeah,
they drafted the guy to develop him. They knew he'd be a project. Why would they do it after 1 year?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What if Jalen Milrow is a piece to the Max Crosby trade?
I
Kubiak
mean,
knows him. Andrew Janoko knows him. You know, and he's a piece. He's included to it. And like, look, the Raiders they get Jalen Milrow, and they use their first round pick on something else.
I mean, we're kind of on the same page there. I don't think the Seahawks are going to make any trades like that this offseason. I've kind of come back around. But what you're saying makes kind of sense. I don't think the Raiders should take Fernando Mendoza number one. I think that'll be a mistake. I think it will set them back even more. I just think that would be a complete mistake by the Raiders to do that. They have so many needs, and a quarterback that would probably be the fifth best quarterback in any other draft class probably isn't your answer at one. I'm going to be honest. And I think Fernando Mendoza is great. Like, I love the dude. It's hard not to root for the guy. But I'm here to talk about like X's and O's football success. I just don't think that's the right move for the Raiders. Like I don't think
Yeah.
Mendoza is a difference maker. I think the Raiders might be better off signing Malik Willis
Oh yeah.
and then sign
That's
Malik
a good
Willis,
point.
trade the number one pick, get the Godfather haul, and then start filling out those holes because Mendoza is not your answer. He's not going to just turn you guys around in 1 year. I'll tell you that much. And
Yeah.
by the time that you might be able to put together a team, his rookie contract is going to be up. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it'd be a mistake. That's just my take though.
Yeah.
But so something similar. It was an easy transition because you talked about trading Milrow to the Raiders. But I don't think I just if the Seahawks make any type of player trade, I'd be pretty shocked this offseason. I would be pretty
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah.
I just don't think this is the offseason for it.
Malik Willis is a great option for them because he knows the system, right? He knows that that Shanahan system, and so he's like a plug and play kind of guy. And Kubiak runs a version of that system, and I think Malik Willis would be perfect for them. Even though people are saying
Yeah,
like
I
he might
mean
get like 30 million a year. Wow, I'm like, man, Malik Willis is gonna
that's a
get that
lot.
back.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot of money. I mean, another guy that I think has a chance to switch teams this offseason is Kyler.
yeah,
So that'll be an interesting domino. I think it's good. I think it's time for him to get out of Arizona. I think it's a good time for them to separate. It just has not worked out. So maybe that's somewhere Vegas looks. But all in all, I just think the Raiders sticking and picking at one Mendoza just is not going to be a good move for them
yeah,
in
yeah,
terms of building the team. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm not in the front office in Vegas right now, so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
Man, if I was a Cardinals fan, man, I would be like, I don't know, I would be in a coma every day, man. That franchise is a mess. Like, there's nothing going right for them. Like, they have been in like I don't know, like the worst place in the NFL. So how does a franchise like that, you know, come back to at least relevancy?
man. If for how bad they have consistently been, it's an ownership problem. I keep jumping over to that. An owner who really wants to win is going to do everything it takes to win. They just can't get it right, man. And
Yeah,
honestly, I think it starts with the quarterback. I mean, the most reasonable thing you can do right now is a quarterback change.
yeah,
I mean, it's not happening with Kyler. It's not. So
yeah,
I think your next step is to change who's your play caller, sorry, your field general that is, and go from there. Because I don't I think everyone's kind of seen it. Everyone Kyler, I don't know, team doesn't seem to rally around Kyler around like you see with other teams. I don't know if it's
yeah,
his leadership. Maybe I don't know, and I don't want to speak on it ignorantly, but I think that they need to change it up in terms of a signal caller out there in Arizona. Maybe see what happens. Change the vibes, the energy. Because right now, yeah, they're stuck, and they are really stuck because they're in the best division of football, and it's just this consistent arms race year in, year out. And the Arizona Cardinals are just the punching bag of the division, like they
yeah,
consistently.
yeah.
Um,
It's tough.
and they're just a laughing stock. Nobody, we always make a joke where it's like, oh, the Rams, Cardinals, and Niners beefing it out on Twitter, and then there's the Cardinals fans over there, like, get away, like,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it just starts with changes. They got this, obviously what they've got right now is not working, so they just got to find out what the source of that is. And I'm not in the building every day, so I'm sure people in the building have a better idea of what that might be. And that's all they can do is try to switch it up and change what's going on in there.
yeah, yeah. Man, that's like it's you just kind of feel bad for those so those some of those elite players that are stuck in bad franchises, especially tight ends, man. Trey McBride and Kyle Pitts, man. If they were in like really good teams, man, imagine those guys, man. Those guys would be like consistently all pros.
Totally. Totally. I mean, Pitt's got franchise tag, so he's got at least one more year left in Atlanta. Um, and Trey McBride, I mean, man, he is so good. It's like sometimes you forget
Yeah,
that like the Cardinals do have such an elite tight end on their team. And just elite talent. Like I'm not a big hater of their receiving core. Like they've got McBride, they've got Marvin, they've got Michael Wilson. Like that's not bad,
it's not bad.
Like,
Yeah, and they got a
and
good like
it
line.
just
They got a good line too. Like they got a good line.
totally. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Like obviously they're completely stuck behind everyone in the NFC West though. It'd be a big draft for them. This is going to be a really big draft for the Cardinals. They need to really make a difference maker pick. They need to just nail this pick, or else they're going to keep being stuck. And they didn't have much luck with Walter Nolan either. He
yeah,
missed a ton of this season. Their first round pick from last year. Obviously a promising athlete, but they just wasn't available for them. So that was definitely tough.
yeah,
Um, but a total revamp for sure.
yeah, yeah. All right, man. Hey, I want to touch on two more pieces. One thing is, Tory Horton. There's like a report out there that Tory Horton might not fully be available. For OTAs, and so he's kind of dealing with a lot of injuries. So,
Totally.
and so, do you think like the Seahawks need like a legitimate wide receiver too? I know, like Rashid Shaheed kind of played that role a little bit, and I think maybe next year he kind of takes another jump with Sam Darnold, building that connection. But Torrey Horton was a monster when he played. Man, people forget. I think did he have 6 touchdowns?
Five. I think it was
Five
five.
touchdowns. 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He played some really meaningful snaps, man. Especially in I really liked watching him in that Bucks game, the Steelers game. So he was playing really good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you do? Do you kind of worry about his availability down the stretch?
Well, the first thing I want to say is Torrey Horton did have 5 touchdowns, and could you imagine if Matthew Golden had 5 touchdowns this year? Packers fans
Yeah,
would have been talking about him like he is God.
yeah,
So the guy scored 1 touchdown in the playoff game. It took him 18 weeks to score one, and they're already thinking he's like all pro next year, which is hilarious. So, but no, I am a little bit worried because he missed the reason why he fell to us in the 5th round because his injury was at Colorado State. Like the guy was unbelievable at Colorado State.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously missed a significant part of his senior season due to injury, and then comes out, balls out, and then gets injured again. Um, so I'm a little worried, but when he plays, he plays. It doesn't. Regardless, I think Seattle needs to dive into the receiver either draft, free agency, this offseason. They don't need to just go get a world beater, but they definitely that receiver depth is still concerning to me. I keep saying it. I'm very worried about a receiver depth. So I'd like Seattle to tap in a little bit into the free agent market, maybe later in the draft if they're able to trade back and get some more picks, just to add a little bit more depth to that room. Because let's just say hypothetically, right? JSN goes down.
Yeah. He's kind of
Who
dead.
who do you trust at that point? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it gets dicey. Like, and say JSN and Torrey Horton just stays injured, right?
Yeah.
They definitely need to tap in. I think JSN has covered up a lot of issues with that room, and like I know Cooper Cup's still there, but like, can you really trust Cooper Cup? I feel like we really lucked out this year with Cooper Cup's health. Like I don't know if we're
Yeah.
gonna get that same level of luck next year. We just got a bunch of flight risks in terms of depth. I think Seattle needs to tap in for sure. They need to tap into the receivers. Find a guy
Yeah.
that's gonna make sure like
Yeah.
you can't control injuries,
Yeah.
but
That was.
it is concerning.
Yeah. Yeah, that was lucky. I think he only missed 2 games, Cooper Cup. So
Yeah.
man, that was pretty lucky, man, for the Seahawks because he was last couple of years he was consistently
Yeah.
injured.
And you just said it best. He missed 2 games. We're really lucky he only missed 2 games. Like, could you imagine if
Yeah,
JSN missed 2 games this year? Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, it just that tells you what you need to know. I think Seattle needs to tap in at least just a little bit late, whatever. Just add another body to that room for sure.
yeah, yeah. All right, so let's get into some. Let's talk about this trade that recently went down, and then we'll talk about your off-season predictions. But yeah, so it looks like there's been a trade between the Jets and the Titans, Javondre Sweat for Jermaine Johnson II. What did you think about that trade, man? I think Jermaine Johnson II, man, I think he's kind of that player that, you feel like he's gonna like really, be that guy, that be that elite edge. But he's just not there yet.
Yeah, it's funny. He's been trade bait for a while now. But he's got a lot of promise, and he gets to reunite in Tennessee with his guy Robert Saleh,
Yeah.
which could work out pretty well. Obviously, they're familiar. I can tell that was a big time Saleh. I want my guy type trade. Devondre Sweat. Devondre Sweat. Funny enough, he was Byron Murphy's running mate at Texas, so I've was able to scout him firsthand. I mean, the guy is massive. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. It's like he's such a freak athlete at his size, but he's kind of a one trick pony. Like he's gonna be able to shut down the run, but probably not much more. And he's
Yeah.
not Vita Vea good, you know.
Mm.
Like Vita Vea is gonna stop the run, but like really stop the run. Like Devondre
Yeah.
Sweat is good, but I don't. Honestly, in terms of trades, that was about as even as it gets. Like I thought that was a really good trade for both teams. Like
Yeah.
just projecting on talent at the end. Obviously, the Jets have had a hole at the defensive line after trading Quinn Williams to the Cowboys and the
Yeah.
interior defensive line, that is. So they had to shore it up, stop the run. I mean, the Jets were absolutely abysmal against the run this season. I mean, just laughably bad. So for them to have that opportunity to get a big run stopper, that's just a small step in fixing that run defense. But I thought that was a good trade for the Jets. Addressing that a little bit, and then getting trading away a guy that had some promise, but I think the Jets are going to take an edge at 2. Spoiler alert.
So, nice.
And so they're comfortable doing that. They're comfortable moving on from a young edge to take another edge at 2, which I think is exactly what they're going to do. I think it's either going to be Bain or David Bailey. I have to guess it's going to be David Bailey because Ruben Bain's measurables today were not promising. As great as he is, we saw Will Campbell this year. As
Yeah.
great as he was, they had some issues because of his arm length. Same issue with Ruben Bain. So I think David Bailey could be the guy at number 2 for the Jets, edge rusher, and it makes sense. It kind of aligns today with what we saw. And then, of course, the Titans get their edge rusher because I think they're going to take Arvell Reese, the linebacker from Ohio State. But we will dive into mock draft next week, so stay
Yeah,
tuned. There's a little
yeah,
spoiler.
yeah.
Um,
Speaking of Will Campbell, sneaky opportunity for the Patriots, man. Like slide that guy in guard, get Trent Williams to play left tackle. I mean, it is possible.
yeah, I mean, this that would be unbelievable if Trent Williams leaves San Francisco. Oh my goodness! I mean, San Francisco's in a position where they can go draft another tackle, but
Yeah,
Trent Williams, man, he's a difference maker. He's a great tackle,
yeah,
and he brings a little mean to him. You love your offensive lineman being a little mean. So that would be huge. That would be one of the biggest names on the free agent market. That would be
yeah,
interesting to see who gets after him.
yeah. And the Patriots. I mean, look. Imagine if you have Will Campbell at left guard and Trent Williams at
Oh
left
yeah,
tackle.
completely changes the landscape. That
Yeah,
looks so good.
yeah,
That is big time, big time. If
yeah,
they could pull something like that off, I don't know. That
yep,
would be a big move.
yeah.
So we'll be
Awesome.
interested to see how that. Yeah,
So yeah, let's get to our off-season predictions. We get like each get three off-season predictions. And I just like spoiled mine already. So that was my off-season prediction number one. Trent Williams going to the New England Patriots because look, I don't think the 49ers can, they're not even close, and I don't think they can afford. They're trying to like get younger. They're trying to change
totally.
what they're doing. They have a lot of old players on their cap space. So look, I think Trent Williams is heading to the New England Patriots. Will Campbell is gonna go sliding guard and left guard, and I think that offensive line is gonna be completely different. And I think they're gonna still make a run in the AFC, man. So I'm a huge
All right.
believer in the Patriots. So um, what's your offseason prediction?
So my off-season prediction number one is the biggest. Well, as we currently stand, the biggest offensive lineman for agency. Tyler Linderbaum will sign with the Los Angeles Chargers.
Wow.
I feel good about that. Jim Harbaugh, big run the ball guy. Tyler Linderbaum, big run the ball guy. So I think that, and the Chargers have a ton of money to work with. They have been desperate for offensive line help. This is kind of their last plea. They got to get this done. I really do. Those tackles need to stay healthy. They can get Linderbaum. Suddenly that offensive line is starting to come together a little bit. I don't think they pass up on the opportunity to get that done, and they do. So I think Tyler Linderbaum's headed to LA. I know
Oh,
every team thinks they're signing him, but I think he's going to LA.
nice, man. All right, my second prediction is Max Crosby is heading to the Seattle Seahawks, and the Seahawks are gonna make a splash move. I think Jalen Milrow is gonna be a part of that. I think he's gonna go to the Raiders, and it's gonna be some draft compensation and Jalen Milrow, and I think the Seahawks are just gonna go for it and trying to be great. So yeah, that's my offseason prediction.
I like it. I like it. Um, no, my next big offseason prediction is the Kansas City Chiefs sign Travis Etienne.
Nice.
I think what ETN gives you as a receiver plus a runner um, is very, very good. And I think that's something that the Chiefs are intrigued by. They've had a real issue running the ball. And they honestly, that might be one of my worst predictions ever because the Chiefs have like not a ton of money. And I'm sure they might find a way. I mean, you only have a window for so long with a quarterback like Mahomes. So realistically, right now, there is no possible way they can sign Travis Etienne. So you can come hate me in the comments, but I just think they're going to find a way and they're going to address it right there and get it done. That's one of my predictions. They have to make some sort of move. Rashee Rice is already in trouble again. They need to find something on that offense to give them a little spark, and I think Etienne's the best guy. I don't think Jacksonville's incentivized. Jacksonville's got to re-sign Devin Lloyd this offseason. I think that's their biggest priority. Um, And they've got Baishal Tutin, the young running back behind him, who showed a lot of promise this year. So I think Jacksonville's pretty comfortable with that, and I think it gives ETN an opportunity to step away. And I'm looking at the landscape, and I just see the Chiefs, and like I said, I know that they cannot afford him right now, but I just want to see what they do with restructuring and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That was my. I was gonna go with Travis Etienne as well, but I got a different team, man. I got him going to the Los Angeles Chargers because of that scheme fit. Mike McDaniel, man, he knows.
Ooh.
He knows what he's doing. He's coming from the Jaguars. So, and I think he's kind of a plug and play type of guy, and he fits in that culture as well. So, I got your boy Travis Etienne going to the Los Angeles Chargers.
All right, all right. That's not bad.
Yeah,
For me, for me, my big this is my big one. I think that Trey Hendrickson is going to be a Bear. I think Trey Hendrickson is going to be a Bear.
nice.
And the reason why I say that is because we talked about it last week, but I mean the Bears they're a fun team. They're a young team. They've got a really good offense. Defense had some issues, but that I think he goes to the Bears. The one big issue was pass rush. They need to get it done. They saw how close they were to beating the Rams already, being in the NFC Championship game without much of a pass rush. You address that. Transition's going to set to hit the open market. I think they get it done. I think they make a push, try to get that signature pass rusher on their defense, and I think they're ready to go for it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that's the off-season predictions, guys. If you like these predictions, please comment, like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok and Twitter. And hey, look, the challenge is still going on. There's still some opportunities to get a gift card to the Pro Shop, and we're giving away 3 gift cards to the Pro Shop. And all you got to do is, Tommy, what do they got to do? Tommy, I think your audio cut off a little bit.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry, my mic is muted. We'll have to edit
no
that
worries.
out.
Yeah.
Let's just restart that. Let's just restart
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, let's
Um,
just restart that. So look, we're giving away 3 Pro Shop gift cards to the Seattle Seahawks Pro Shop, and it's $120 each. And Tommy, what do they got to do?
yeah. So go find us on Twitter at 32 Insights Pod. Go look at our pinned tweet. It'll be right there. All you have to do is retweet that tweet and follow us on Twitter, and that'll be your entry. We're going to run those names through a random generator. We'll have 3 winners. If you win, if your name pops up and you're not following us, but you retweeted the tweet, I got bad news. We'll be moving on to our next one. So make sure you do both of those. You can find us on Twitter, like I said, at 32 Insights Pod. Be sure to follow. We just started the Twitter up. We're trying to build the community there. And good luck in the contest.
Yep. And Tommy, when do we announce the contest winners again?
So we will announce the contest winners either on draft night or at 1,500 followers, 1.5K followers. There will be 3 winners. So whatever happens first is when we'll announce the winners.
Yep. All right. So that you heard it, guys. Go ahead to Twitter and follow us on Twitter for a chance to win a gift card to the Pro Shop. All right. Well, 32 Insights Pod is out, and we'll see you guys next week.